Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be showing you how to sharpen some blades on a lawnmower. This lawnmower looks like it has some other issues. I wasn't told of any of those issues, but a quick little look around told me that somebody was driving it and hit something that they shouldn't have, and it looks like it locked up the blades and actually caused it to snap the belt on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the spindles off of the lawnmower deck. I'm going to drop the spindle down with the blade, and then I'm going to take it over and sharpen it and see what else is wrong with this. From a quick little look, it appears that we have an issue with the piece that actually raises and lowers the deck right here. This is all new to me, so I don't know what caused that, but we'll take a look at that and we'll fix it. It also looks like this blade right here is locked up pretty solid, so that's going to be fun to fix. And then I've got this side over here that also locked up solid, so that's cool. But it's fine. We're going to take it apart and we will see what's going on with it and fix it, and we'll go from there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking off these two little bolts right here. These actually take the pulleys off of the spindles, and once I do that, then it'll allow me to drop these four little bolts down in here, two on the front and then two on the back over here, and then I can pull this pulley out and see what other kind of damage this thing has. Judging by how locked up it is, it's possible that the spindles might have cracked or broken because of the amount of pressure that took. These things are ginned up real good. So somebody hit something hard, and we're going to figure out what that was. I'm just going to put this back up here and show you how I take it apart. So, I guess, thankfully, because it's so locked up, I'll be able to just take this little... yeah, I can see the bundle of trash underneath it right here that's locking it up. I guess, thankfully, it's locked up, so it'll make pulling this nut off just a little bit easier. Maybe. I guess not. I hate these little nuts. They either come off real easy or not at all. So you guys can't see it, but what I'm doing is I'm putting my hand underneath the deck of the mower, holding the actual blade itself, so then I can stop this thing from rotating and try and get this nut. Yeah, there you go. Get this nut loose so I can pull this off. So I've had to do a decent chunk of work to this lawnmower. So I have a nut, a little spacer. These guys pull right off, and then I have another little washer underneath there so that my pulleys are all lined up. It's actually a pretty important thing. If they're not lined up, you're gonna be tossing belts and breaking them all the time and just having a bad time. Any time spent fixing a lawnmower is time you're not spending mowing. That is not how you make money. So, alright. I brushed all the little stuff off right here. I can see all my bolts. So I'm just going to hit them with my little impact right here and get these all off. Get them dropped. So that's one of them off. You can see my little ingenuity right here. So a while ago, the original bracket actually broke at both ends. So I took some little, what do you call that? The stuff that you put in fences to stretch it and hold the fabric tight, and I just welded those onto the end, and this is being used to hold my my belt inside my pulley, so when you turn the lawnmower off, it doesn't just kick the belt and you have to reline up the belt every time. And super useful. Probably one of the first modifications I've had to do to this lawnmower. But now we're going to switch to the other side because this side's loose. We're going to get that side undone. Let's go on over here. Not quite sure if I'm going to be able to get a good angle for you guys. Yeah, probably not. Sorry, I didn't really think about this. Unfortunately, just like my garage, I have limited space for everything. Oh, hey, look at that. This one's already loose. That's not good. So, we'll just take that one off. Make sure we put it on extra tight the next time we put it on. Alright. Oh, that's tight. Wonderful. Sometimes these things just take a little percussive maintenance to get off. They shouldn't be this tight, but damn, with all the other stuff that I've had to do this lawnmower, this does not surprise me. There you go. There you go. Alright, just had to wiggle her off. Again, got my two washers. Let's clear this off. Well, battery down on my thing. I'll be right back. So, you never know when your tools are going to die, so it's always nice to have a spare battery. So this bolt looks like it's a little tweaked, pretty much even stripped. So what I might do is after I finish sharpening these, I'll see if I have any bolts laying around that'll fit this. Maybe even 2 bolts. This one also looks pretty messed up. I'll just put those ones off to the side just so I remember. But for reference, this is what the original piece looks like. Obviously mine looks extremely similar, just slightly off. Alright. So there's 2 ways to do this, but one of the easiest is just to raise the deck up, lift up the side of the mowing deck, and just pull your spindles right on out. As you can see, there's a ton of stuff inside this little bearing right here. So this thing is, yeah, it's not cutting very good, and this will definitely be why. So we'll sharpen the blade, pull out all this garbage, and this thing should work like new. Or, well, as close to new as this old girl. Out you come. Yeah, so this one's the same. It's got a whole bunch of junk in this this bearing over here. So we'll take care of that. Let's go on into the garage. Ooh. Alright, so unfortunately there's no way for me to really take one of these blades off. So instead of doing the hard thing and trying to pull both of these off, I'm just going to tap the actual shaft out of this, pull the body of this off, pull all this junk out of both of these, and then I'll sharpen them and go from there. I'm not quite sure if you guys can see, but there's a slight lawnmower blades. So the bottom one right here has a bolt through it, and this top one looks like it has nothing. I actually broke the bolt going through this one, and I had to weld it on a couple of times before I got the weld right. And now this thing's just permanently affixed, and honestly, it's just ripping, minus having all this junk inside here. But that's something that all lawnmowers do when they get jammed up. You know, you go too fast through an area that this thing can't cut fast enough, and it just wraps it around the spindles and starts, you know, causing them to fill up and work like crap, really. So let's tap this out of the body, and we will start clearing this stuff up. Move this out of the way. I'm just going to make it so that there's enough space for the outside of the spindle to hold on. I'm just going to tap on the top of this. There you go. It just comes right out. And as you can see, just nothing but a whole bunch of grass right through there. This is what I just pulled out of where the bearing was sitting, so that's definitely going to cause a lot of friction. So we're going to clean this up real good in a minute, make sure we clear out this bearing hole, and then put some grease in there. But oh yeah, look at that. So inside the actual bearing, I'm not sure if you guys can quite see, there's all this grass that's just kind of been being used as an interim bearing. So I'm going to pull all this stuff out, and then clean this up, and we'll go from there. Probably start working the other one. Yeah, this stuff's in here thick. No wonder the person using my lawnmower told me that it was not quite cutting right. Definitely see why. This is why you have to take care of your equipment. Make sure you maintenance it and clean it after every use. Otherwise, you end up with problems like this that just build up over time and cause it to basically stop working. definitely getting a little bit of dirt inside my actual bearing here, but what I'll do is after I clean up all this stuff underneath here, I'll take my little brake cleaner can up there. I'll spray this all out, put a whole bunch more grease inside. And like I said, it'll be like new, as new as it can be with all the things that I've done to it. So there is also a ton of stuff in between the bottom of this and the top of this, but because that part's not actually spinning, I'm not too concerned with it. I'm more concerned with everything inside here that can rub against this bearing and cause it to start slowing down and have friction on it and stuff. So I'll just spray that out a little bit. Looks like I got everything out of there. So we'll spray the bearing out. Get all the junk out of here. Yeah, the bearing's moving nice and freely now. So we'll pull out our little grease gun. Actually, that's going to be the last thing I do, because once you start messing with grease, you just get grease everywhere. And I don't like working with grease until it's the last thing, so I will hold off on that. But what I'll do right now is I'm going to sharpen this blade, and then I'll take this one apart, clean that one, and then I'll grease them, put them all back together, and show you guys how much better this thing works. So for now, I'm just going to mute you guys so you don't have to deal with this loud grinder. They're actually in pretty bad shape on the ends back here, and it's hard for me to get a little sharp edge on it. So instead of using my little cutoff disc, I'm going to use the proper grinding disc for this, and it should go a little bit quicker for me when I'm doing that. Okay, so I'm not sure if you noticed, but what I was doing was I was not only just grinding the edge of this, but I was also going further back here, so that I could grind this out and make a flatter blade, which makes it a little bit easier to cut through stuff, because there's a smaller edge trying to cut instead of this big fat chunk. So it makes it a little bit easier to cut through stuff when the edge is thinner and sharper. So I made sure to bevel this out back a little bit more. and then make it a thinner cutting edge and also sharpen from the backside. That way I can get a nice sharp edge all the way along. So now I just need to take the other one apart, do the same thing to it, and then I can start greasing these fittings and putting everything back together. Alright, so I am much happier with that. This one was a lot more damaged than the previous one, so it took a lot more work to get it to a point where I was comfortable with it being sharp, and that it'll last a little bit longer with the edge being a little bit thinner. Now if it actually hits something that's hard, the edge won't last as long, but the hope is that you're not going out there and you're hitting tree branches and rocks and a whole bunch of hard things. You're only out there hitting grass. So hopefully with the edge being a little bit thinner, it'll go through some of this thicker grass a little bit easier, and it won't bind as much, and it'll keep the engine speed up so it can eject everything out of it. So now let's grease these bad boys up, and then let's slap them back together, throw them on the lawnmower, blow the lawnmower off, and make sure everything works good on the lawnmower. So I am sure that there is a better way to do this than how I'm about to do this, but I'm not actually an expert when it comes to packing bearings, or actually I've never really packed a bearing to begin with. So I'm just going to move this bearing around a little bit, try and get the grease down inside there. Hope that by moving it around a good little bit, enough gets down in there that it'll do the job. I know you're really supposed to use like a needle and inject the grease inside there, but I don't have that. Also, these things are cheap enough that I don't really care enough to do that. But whenever something's free and I can maintain something for free, make it last a lot longer with just a little bit of spit, maybe some weld, maybe just taking things apart and cleaning them, I will always do that over paying for things, because let's face it, stuff's expensive, money's always tight, so let's try and save things where we can. So now that I got the little bit of grease back in there, I'm going to slide this on over, and then the best way to do this is to grab a large socket. So I'm going to use a 1-inch deep socket. I'm going to put it over the edge of this, and I'm just going to bash this down until it's tight. Cool, now it's tight. Still spins freely. Now let's do the other one. This bearing's definitely not as good as the other one. It's dragging a little bit, so let's see if I can get some good grease down inside here after I sprayed out all the crap. And see if maybe let's loosen her up a little bit, let her spin a little bit more freely. Since this one was grinding so much when I just touched it, I am going to do this probably a couple times just to try and get as much grease down on in here as I can. Try and eject whatever is getting stuck on. Ooh, that's binding tight. That's not good. Alright, this appears to be helping a good little bit. So let's get a little bit more clean grease down inside here. Keep on spinning this around well, trying to push the grease down on the inside. And since this appears to be working like so well, I would probably end up doing this on. What the heck? Why did that just wind up? Wow, they're kind of tight. Okay, I'm not quite sure why I just did that. Where's my monkey wrench? I'm going to see if by spinning it I can kind of kick out whatever's making it tight like this. So if I can't get this out, there's a good chance that when I'm driving around this bearing's just going to blow up from friction. Shouldn't cause too catastrophic damage, but it'll definitely not be a fun day because I don't have these just floating around. But it does look like it's holding. It's a lot more stable in there. So let's get the casing back on this one. So I actually put a dent in the top of the other one, so let me get a bigger socket. See here. Oh yeah. So this big 33 millimeter socket fits perfectly on the outside lip of this. Alright, so that's tight. Spins freely. Very nice. Put this socket back. I have a bad habit of just leaving tools out and then ending up with a big old mess. So I'm going to see if I can make sure I put my stuff away when I'm done with it. But that's both of these sharpened, both of these cleaned, both of them spinning freely now. So that's good. Now let's put both of these back on, and yeah, let's see what she does. So it should drive significantly better now. And then once I put these back on, I will figure out what's going on with the deck lever. Looks like it probably just popped off because when it was hit, there's a lot of pressure, so it just shot this right up. But we'll see in a minute. Pull this down. Oh, right, I needed to find a bolt. Alright. I'll be back in a minute. I'm just going to see if I can find a replacement bolt for the two on the other side that are slightly warped. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I found these two bolts right here that are the same thread and pitch as these little holes. So that's perfect. I found exactly what I needed. So I will use these on this side to replace those two broken bolts, or well, bent bolts. Alright, so before I put these back in here, let's I'm actually going to move this lawnmower forward. Try and see if I can get this garbage out from underneath it before I go and work on it, because it's why work on something that you know has a bunch of garbage underneath it? You're gonna have to clean it anyways. Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, just take a look at what was underneath the lawnmower here and causing it to be all blocked up. See this giant pile? That is 100% why this belt broke. Yeah. Should work a little bit better now without that underneath it. Alright, so let's get this little sucker right in here. Hang on a second. What is this? There's this like little string down here. I don't think it's damaging anything, but it's just kind of like stuck. See if I can get this off real quick. There you go. Alright, everything underneath here spins freely and moves, so it's good. Alright. Put this little guy back on underneath here. Don't forget to put your little belt holder underneath here as well. I've done it before where I've tied everything back together and then realized I forgot to put this back here. It's really super nice to have it. Honestly, I would have to come crawl underneath here almost every single time I mowed if I didn't put this on here. So I recommend if you broke it, you try and fabricate something or find something to replace it. Just because of your time. Your time is valuable, and it's not worth constantly going down underneath here fixing stuff if you don't have to. Why would we do it here? Oh, it's bent. That's why it's not going back in there. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that did it. This little thing is not happy about it, but I got that all back on there. So, put my little washer, put my pulley. Alright, so I'm not going to tighten the, I'm not going to tighten it down yet. Actually, no, I'll just do it now. Alright, so because the blade is sharpened, it makes this part a little bit sketchy. So I kind of have to be careful so I don't cut myself. That sand's on there pretty good. Let's switch over to the get that side done. Actually, while I'm on this side, I might as well try and fix this. Underneath here, there's this little lip that slips underneath here, and on the back there's a bolt. So what I'm going to do is try and undo this bolt and see if after I do that I can get this pushed back underneath here and all lined back up. Hopefully nothing's broken. It would not surprise me if anything's broken, just because, well, that's how things go. Alright, so I'm making sure it's firmly inserted back inside here. Alright. Get that down in there. That's down. Alright, hands tighten the bolt. Now I will get it on with this. Alright, there you go. So it's not moving, so that's good. Let's get the other side on. I know this side's a little bit harder to see. I apologize. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot I can do about that. Slide this underneath. Thankfully, this side has the place where all the grass is injected, so it's a little bit easier to get the blade underneath here in the tower. There you go. Alright. Let's install the guard. Make sure that we use the good bolts here, not the bent ones. Alright. One slightly on. That's two. Let's get these on. That's three and four, so tighten them down with this little guy. Just based off of how those things are going in there, I almost wonder if it's the spindle that actually has the problem and it caused the bolts to get all stripped out and things. Doesn't want to turn anymore, so do the rest of this by hand. Perfect. I just broke one of the bolts. Well, I don't really feel like messing with it, and this thing is on there solid, so I'm gonna say that's good enough. Alright. Put my little spacer down, get my little pulley on there. Feels like one of these little poles got a little bent out of place, so I'm going to see if I can pull it over the side real quick. That's a lot better. Put my washer, get my little spindle nut. So I am a righty, so that makes doing this a little bit hard on this side. So let's see what I accomplish. I'd say it's probably good enough. All right. Alright, looks good. So, I hope you enjoyed watching me fix my lawnmower, and until the next time, take care.